Good morning. How is everyone? I hope you're good. I hope you guys had a good weekend. David was at the golf all weekend, so I tried to just do nothing. It didn't work. I put a vinyl floor down in the by the front door. Then I cleaned the house and swept like everything, and then did some dishes. And I'm not very good at not doing anything. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so today we're going to do, lots of people this morning. Good morning. Hi, George. Hope you had a good time at the golf. Okay, so today we're going to do the corn, and this is what I've got for the corn. So you can pick any of the colors that you think would go together for the corn. This is what I've picked. It's a little bit different from the actual drawing because I just picked any of these colors at random and put them in. Do you know what I mean? So you can pick any of the colors you want. You can do 3 colors, you can do 2 colors, you can do just yellow. If you just want yellow corn, I want mine to be like mixed, like a good mix of different colors. So that's why I've gone with this. So you're going to have corn colors. Then you're going to have an outline color, okay? And then you're going to have the green corn husk color, which, you can see my belly there, which I've chosen as the darkest green, okay? And that's the same as in the drawing, or as in the sample, I guess. But, yeah, you can always change it if you want to. I've actually taken all my greens out into the other room, but you could change it if you want to. Like if you put a really dark green here, maybe you want to use the second darkest one there instead. It's completely up to you, but you'll need a green for the corn husk if you want to have a green corn husk. Okay, so we've got the darkest brown for an outline and then your corn colors. Now this is going to be very similar to this flower here. I tried to do a weaving thing, but it did not work. It was such a fail. And you couldn't use a lot of colors, and I wanted to use a lot of colors. So what we're going to do, essentially, I'm just going to give you a rundown, is we're going to fill these in first with a bunch of different colors, okay? And then we're going to go in afterwards and do the detached chain stitch like this, but very, very open with like 2 strands so that we just get a slight outline of the corn. And hopefully it will look like I want it to look. So with this, we're going to take 3 strands. I'm confident, 3 strands. And we're just going to fill in like random ones. Okay, until all of them are filled. So maybe you'll do like, 7 of each one or 5 of each color and just pick some random colors to put around. And don't worry if there's 2 next to each other that are the same color. I'm going to try and make it not like that, but if it happens, it happens. Do you know what I mean? So the colors I'm going to use are all the colors we've already been using, obviously. We've got 313. 369 star. So you can tell we've used these lots of other places. Sorry, I just chugged some water. 298, which was the sunflower color. Then we've got star 374, which I don't think we've used yet. This is going to be for the cornucopia color. And then I chose the red star 20. So we're going to take three strands of these ones and mix and match in there. So if you have been saving all of your threads, okay, you can pull them from here. If you have 2 strands, it's fine. If you have 3 strands, it's fine. If you have 4 strands, it's fine. We're just filling it in, okay? So as long as you fill in the shape, you're good to go. Okay, do I need to say anything else? I don't think so. So I'm just going to start with this 369 star because I already have 3 strands of it already. So I don't have to cut anything or separate anything. I'm just going to try and use my scraps that I've got. So hopefully all of that made sense. You never know, especially on a Monday, but I think it'll be good. David's off school this week for half term. Obviously, Wednesday, I have that appointment, so the live will be a little bit later, like 1 or 2 my time. And then, yeah, Friday, we have the same. So we're just going to put a couple little straight stitches. You can make them nice and smooth if you want to, or you can make them a little bit more rustic looking, like a corn. It's up to you. Obviously, the more strands you use, the less stitches you're actually going to do. So if you do 4 strands, you might only need 3 stitches for each one. And don't really worry about the shape of the corn itself. Do you know what I mean? If it's a little bit like not perfect, it's totally fine. It's okay. So yeah, I've got that appointment on Wednesday. I've got that appointment on Friday. Friday is to give blood. Gosh, makes me squeamish. Don't like that. Nope, don't like that. What else? I feel like I really didn't do anything else this weekend. I did the floor. That was exciting. I've been waiting to do that for a really long time. So, yeah, half term. I feel like we never get anything done at half term. I'm actually waiting to send a couple kits out because I have no fabric left. Like 0. The advent calendars took all my fabric. So we need to go to the fabric store, and then I think we'll hit up like H&M maybe or something whilst we're in Birmingham and see if they've got anything worth getting. You know? Okay. You know, it's really hard to make these random. Every single time I'm like, oh, just put them randomly in there. And then I always tend to like make a pattern. Rebecca says, I'm only up to day 3, but I love joining the actual live. Hooray for half term. Oh, are you on half term as well? I think like all of England is on half term. Although a couple people said they had half term last week. So maybe they have 2 weeks and we just have 1 week. Sniff, sniff. It's getting chilly out. I always sleep better when it's cold. When it's cold out and you can get all snuggly under the duvet. I like that. Okay, so that's probably good enough for this. I'll do one more down at the bottom just so they're like, you know. Scottish half term was last week or the week before. And Rebecca says, yep, I work in a primary in Birmingham. Oh, David works in Redditch. But where we live is like down the road. I think you guys call them a dual carriageway. But yeah, I think it only takes him like 15 minutes or a little bit less to get to school, which is good. He can get there quick. I live in Redditch. Oh! Actually, normally when we go to, like, out, we normally go to Redditch instead of going to Birmingham because they've got, like, a Primark there and an H&M there, and you can go and have a bit of lunch, and it's nice and not, like, as crazy busy like Birmingham is. But, I want to go to the big H&M in Birmingham because I want to see if they have any maternity clothes there. That's not enough. How about this one? I guess I'll do red next because there's a spot of red here, so I'll just grab that. But yeah, he works in a school there in Redditch, so there you go. Exciting. So I'll do the red now. And normally when I do this, I just kind of put the colors aside that I've already used because it helps me to remember which ones I've used and which ones I haven't used, which seems like duh, Tori, obviously, but I can't tell you how many times I've done them and put them back in the pot, and then I've gone, oh, did I use that color? And then you have to take a little bit and go, yep, that's the same color. Okay, I'll pick a different one. Small world. Yeah, for sure. Do you know what? When I first started, when I moved here, every single order went to America, because obviously I'm from America, and friends and family would order from there, and I was obviously on Etsy there, and because that's where I started my shop at. And now I feel like there's such a good split of followers between England and America, and I love to see it so much, because it makes me feel like I've made this a little bit of my home, you know? And again, we're not getting like super graded for these, okay? Just fill them in. Fill them in. Okay, so I'll try and get like maybe like the top half filled with all 5 colors, because there's not that much of this color in. So I can show you how to do the outline. I do say show you, but you kind of already know, because we've already done it before. But that's okay. I will say, the pump is just getting bigger and bigger. What I want to get from H&M or maybe Primark or something, it's just like a cardigan, you know? Because I tend to have a lot of t-shirts, but then all the sweatshirts that I have, they don't go down all the way. And then Sarah gave me some, and they're so good. Some like sweaters, you know? But I want to get like a cardigan or two. I don't really wear cardigans a lot. So there you go. I'm 2 acorns away from having caught up. Don't even speak to me about getting caught up. Oh my gosh. David was like, wow, it looks really good. You guys have done a lot of stitching the last 2 weeks. And I was like, honey, I haven't done those 2, that one, the rest of that, those 2, these acorns, and this sunflower, and all of these leaves. And he was like, yeah, you need to catch up. I was like, yeah, I do. But I was too busy trying to sample stitches over the weekend, trying to find something super fun for this corn that we didn't do yet. Because I don't love like repeating stitches a lot. Like sometimes with satin stitch, you just kind of have to, because it's so versatile and you can use it for so many things. But most of the other things, I like to do something a bit different, you know? Make it a bit more so that you get good bang for your buck. I mean, saying that, it's a free Stitchalong, but still, I always want to make it so like you learn something and that it's like interesting and you're not like, oh no, not this stitch again. So it didn't work, but that's all right. I ended up tearing it out and thinking that, well, I could just use it for something else. Like I could just like change a little bit of it, but it didn't work. Should we do any more red? Maybe just this little corner. Now you could do the outline first and then fill it in afterwards, like we did for the flower, but I don't want to do that. Okay, so this one is 4 strands. Let's just, because it's 2 and 2, let's just put these together and then keep going, you know? And like I said earlier, I'll try and get at least the top filled so that you guys can see how to do it. And then we can move on to the next part. You could also do all these the same color if you don't want to do multicolored corn, if you want to do something that's a bit more plain. I know I said it earlier, but you could always do just a yellow. And it's okay. Whatever you feel like. We still have 2 colors left after this. So hopefully this top bit will get filled in. Y'all are quiet today. Probably busy stitching, trying to catch up like me. Good morning, Amelia. And good morning, good morning. Can't seem to wake up today. Oh, really? Busy stitching. Oh, don't worry about it. Continue stitching. I always find that Mondays are a little bit quiet. Yeah. And as far as like chatting, like a lot of people come to the live, but people are quiet. And then like Wednesday is normally when like not a lot of people come. Wednesday and Thursday. Running around feeding the animals and making more coffee. That's because it's 2 a.m. Mel. Yeah, right? Thank you. I'm always the one telling her to go back to bed. Like, go to sleep. I just realized I've completely neglected that whole row. I'm telling you, you try and make it random, and it's so hard to make it random. You like subconsciously do a pattern, even though you don't want to. That's okay. I have no room to talk here. I'm at 2 a.m. also. The Monday vibes are real. Robin woke up 2 hours early at 5:30. Oh no. Those of you with small children, are you going to try and do the time? Because in England, we have the time change this weekend. It's the 31st. Are you going to try and like ease them into it a little bit? Or are you just going to like wham bam, let it hit them? And you. I saw a bunch of posts on Instagram about the time change and children. And I told David, I was like, I think I'm going to do it to us. I think I'm going to slowly go to sleep a little bit earlier every day. And then hopefully the time change won't affect us. Last night, Jeff was like, well, she saved them, right? Oh, I felt attacked. Yes. That's too funny. Okay. 2 more. This is where all your scraps really comes in handy because then you don't have to use more thread, you know? You can save it for something else or just keep it in your stash. Or if you want to stitch another one of these, or no time change here in Arizona, thank goodness. Yeah, so some time zones don't do it, do they? Because I remember my grandma lived in Indiana and we always had a time change, but they didn't. So sometimes we would call them and we'd be like, oh, it's an hour behind. And other times, whoa, this is very long. And other times we'd be on the same time. So yeah, the only good part is that for me, for like a little bit, I don't know the exact time, like if it's a week or 2 weeks, because I don't know when America does theirs, but me and my parents are actually 4 hours instead of 5 hours. So for a little bit, it's like not so early, you know, fall behind, spring ahead. But that might only be in the spring. I can never remember, to be fair. Got a little bit of red here poking through. I'm just going to cover it up. And I just made it worse. Perfect. I'll sort it later. But maybe this time everyone does it on the same day. I don't know. Whatever you do, it never works. Whatever you do, they still sleep like shit and are up at the wrong time. Takes at least a week. Oh, they always say that about kids though, don't they? If you let them stay up thinking that they'll sleep in, they'll like guaranteed wake up. Did I just break that? No. Okay, good. An hour earlier almost. There we go. I'll sort it later. That one. That with the red poking through. Do they go forward or back? I never remember. So it's spring ahead and fall behind. That's how I remember it. So in the spring, the clocks go forward. Because spring ahead. And then in autumn, they go back, fall behind. Ohio falls back, yeah. I think everyone does, Miss Robin. Unless you don't have time change. Fall behind. I don't mind it so much in the summer because I like having the daylight longer. But in the winter, it's such a killer. Because here, last year, I was like, no one believed me when I said that the sunset is 3:50 at its earliest time. And it was so depressing. And people were like, no, it does not. And I was like, I swear to God, it does. And yeah, 3:50 is the earliest, I think. Okay. I'm trying to get this done because this is kind of like the boring part. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. That's awful night as well, hibernate. Yeah, exactly. And like, I remember when David would come home from work and I'd be like, are you ready for dinner? And he'd be like, it's 4:00. I'd be like, yep, I'm ready for dinner and a glass of wine and to go to bed. That's what I'm ready for. He'd be like, are you serious? Yep. Because it's been dark for 2 hours already. It just makes you feel like, oh, this is not fun. Okay, so we only have one color left. I'm using the 5 colors, but you can use another one if you want to. You can use all the colors. I probably wouldn't use green because I don't think there's green corn for one. But yeah, I mean, you do you if you want to. Grandma Robin. Twice. So she's got my baby in January, and then my brother is having a baby in February. So 2 babies. Isn't she lucky? Corn looking pretty. Thank you. I'm like getting more and more furious as I'm going. Do you know what I mean? Like stitch, 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 stitch. 2 babies. Yep. Okay, so let's just do one more of these. And then we'll fill the rest of it in with the other color. Let's do this one here. And then we'll do the one in the very corner on the right, and then we're done. So lucky. Now, I said before, but you can try and make them random, but there's always going to be some kind of pattern. And there's always going to be something where you're like, oh, I don't like that. But you can always go back and like change it later if you want to add another color. So just because you're done with that color doesn't mean that you can't put it back on your needle and do a little bit more. Now, I know we have not, I do know the gender of my brother's baby. He is having a boy. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. I haven't used this color yet at all because it's going to be for the cornucopia. So let's just grab some of that. It's a new color. And they've already announced it and everything, so I feel like I'm okay to say it. Okay. Last one. And then we're going to take the dark brown. I think 2 strands should be enough because we just want a slight outline. We don't want to make it like bam, you know, almost like we did with the sunflower. Oops, I'm tripping. But we just want to have like a little outline there. And if this is too close to some of the other colors, if you feel like it's not, doesn't look right, then just use a different color. There's also the oranges. I didn't use that dark orange. Well, it's not that dark. I didn't use that one. So if you wanted to put like a pop of orange in there, you absolutely can. You can put purple in there or that real light pink color. I will hush now too, Chatty. Don't be sorry. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm going to do the little top there in this brown too. You can put these stitches the other way if you want, sideways. Give me some of that energy. I love the dark red in there. Yeah, it makes it a little bit, it gives it a little something, you know, so they're not all the same color. That said, if you wanted to make them all the same color, you absolutely can. Like, and that's sometimes why I like doing these, like the sample for you, because then you kind of get to see what it looks like before you commit to your own. So if for any reason you're just like, I don't like that, it could be for anything, you know. Sometimes it's the stitch or sometimes it's the color. And that's why when I do my stitch-alongs, like for the next one, the inside, the cozy cabin, we don't have a color palette. I've colored it in for you, but we don't really have a color palette. And that's because people have different tastes. So maybe I make my chimney brown and you're like, oh, I like a white chimney, you know, or like that kind of whitewashed brick look. Or maybe you want a red chimney, or maybe you want and fireplace, you know, or maybe you want to have like a woven wicker basket or those gray tin stars on your wall. Like there's so much you can do with that. And the rug colors, pick 2 or 3 rug colors that go together and call it a day. Like there's no right or wrong. The other thing I like to do is look for interiors on Pinterest. So go to Pinterest and just type in like fireplace or woven rug or checkerboard rug. And you don't have to make it a checkerboard either. That's just kind of like the general idea. We might do something else, you know what I'm like. I end up changing everything in the stitch along anyways. Because I get an idea and I'm like, whoop, pivot. There we go. There's only a couple more, so I might as well just do it. I'm so excited. I was trying to pick mine today. It was overwhelming. So the other thing that I do is get all your colors out, like literally all of them, and just start putting the colors on the thing, okay? Like I want to make this pumpkin orange or yellow, put it on there. I want to make the chimney this color and put it on there. And sometimes you have the right color, but you don't have the right shade of that color. So sometimes you're like, oh, I want a red stocking, okay? But you only have like bright freaking red. And maybe you don't want bright red. You want like more of a darker, almost like a, not maroon, like a brick red, you know? I was just thinking, this looks a little bit sloppy, but actually, when we do the outline, it's going to look really, really nice. So lay them all out and see what they look like. And sometimes you have the color right. You just need a different shade of that color. So maybe the orange is too bright and you just need like a lighter color and not so like neon of a color. Or maybe your green has too much blue in it. Something like that. And then put them all together and then see if all the colors make sense. And an easy way to see that is just to lay them all out. And normally one of them will pop out, either as being the wrong color or the wrong shade of a color. Like literally they stick out like a sore thumb. Like you can just look at it and be like, nope, don't like that. But if you're not getting that feeling, then you're probably okay. And sometimes you like to have colors that stick out. So just because you've got like a bright pink in there, that might be for light bulbs or something. Not light bulbs. What's it called? You know, on the Christmas tree? Christmas lights. String lights. So it might be for that. So if it's something small like that, you don't have to necessarily take it out if you know it's going to be used in a way that isn't overwhelming. But if you put like neon pink for the rug, but everything else was like homely rustic colors, then you know that unless you love that, maybe that's not the right color. You know? Okay, I've just got one more. Oh my gosh. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. The corn. We were watching the movies that made us on Netflix. Have you guys seen that? I've kind of been putting it off because I thought that David would like to watch it. And he found it today and he was like, oh, I never saw this before. And I was like, I know, because I've been saving it. But we watched the one about Die Hard this morning. And then we watched part of the one about Dirty Dancing. And it tells about how they like made the movies and how they came up with the idea and everything. Okay, that's pretty good. Very interesting. And all the actors, like from the actual films, well, not all of them, but some of them, and the producers and stuff are all in there. Yeah, if you have Netflix, have a look, because it's really quite interesting. I think 2 will be fine. Ooh, I love these type of shows. Amelia says, I can't wait for the Christmas Stitchalong. So now I have 2 to make. Dirty Dancing is amazing. How interesting how that movie came alive. Definitely. And like how they cast people and how like the people, how they like made the movie and like how they actually like cast the people and how it was like written based on someone's actual experience, like growing up there. yeah, there's 3 seasons. I think there's about 15 or 20 episodes altogether. So there's like Jurassic Park, Dirty Dancing. Yeah, there's like a bunch. Okay, so with this, what you're going to do is come up on the one side. You can do an outline as well if you want. And then go down at the top. So it's almost like a fly stitch, detached chain stitch, mesh. Okay, and then go up here at the top of this one. We're just outlining each of the things. So let's see here. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. Obviously, I've pulled the threads through, so that's why you see some red and yellow there. But we're just going to outline each of these things that we've already filled in. So that's why I said you can outline it first if you want to. But yeah, I tend to like to do it this way because then you can kind of see all the different colors. You can see where you're going. You don't really have to do it in a certain pattern. Literally just outlining them. And because they're like a really open fly stitch / detached chain stitch, it does really work for this. At least I think it is. So I've got 2 strands for these. And this is another like personal thing because I know when I did the sunflower, I did only 1 strand. And some people thought that was not enough and they did 2. And other people did 2 because they thought, actually, I think 1 is not enough. And they said that the 2 was too thick. So it just depends on you and what you like, you know? There's no real right or wrong for this. I think that the 2 gives a nice, bold outline. But again, if you don't, that's okay. Like try 1 if you want to. Don't even give me a knot. So yeah, you can work in rows if you want to, or you can do it a bit more sporadic, like random. You don't have to outline all of them if you don't want to. You can do just some of them. You don't have to outline at all. If you're like, nope, that don't look nice. That's okay. So these ones on the corner, we're just going to do like a more sharp one there. And then we can outline the whole thing. Good night, Mel. Have a good sleep. Yeah, you can outline the whole thing if you want to. I'm putting everyone to bed. What is going on with this? I don't know why it's like not holding my hoop anymore. Like it's the same way I've always put it in, so I don't know what is going on. But it's fallen out like far more times this stitch along than it has in any other stitch along. What is going on? What is going on? Better. There we go. So yeah, and then after this, we're just going to do an easy, maybe 3 strand or 4 strand satin stitch on the side, and they are going to look like this. Just a regular one. You don't have to angle any, no 3/4 situation, just nice, long, straight stitches like that. And then, yeah, and then that will be done. So there we go. And like I said about the green, I think I'm going to use the darkest green, or maybe the second darkest green. And I think the second darkest one is 217. 217, only because, so here's the thing. I'm using the 217 here. So maybe I don't want to use it here because then it's going to all kind of mesh together. But then again, I have used the darkest green here, so you don't want to put them like too close together. You know, you want to like mix it up a bit. You can do the third darkest green. Just like to give you guys options, you know. I have 2 kittens. Stitching with their help is proving difficult. I love a helper. Yeah, I was trying to finish the November pattern on the red fabric. If you guys saw my stories this weekend, I was showing it a bit. Not up close, but Jessie was just like, I'll sit on your lap. And I was like, no, you will not sit on my lap. And she was like, I will sit on your lap. I was like, this is not helpful at all. Be careful with kittens and / cats and embroidery thread / needles, because I've had a friend who had to take her cat in and the cat swallowed a needle because they were playing with the thread. As in, the cat was playing with the thread and ended up swallowing the needle. And, like, thankfully it came out and they didn't need surgery. That's why we also say do not put the needle in your mouth to hold it. If you are a mouth needle holder, we don't do that either, because one of my followers and friends had to go to the hospital and get it surgically removed. So please, 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 if you put your needle in your mouth to hold it, like when you're getting new threads or when you're trying to whatever, stop doing that right now. Yeah, we don't do that anymore. So yeah, if you would like to do an outline, you can do a nice back stitch outline or a stem stitch outline. It just depends on which one you like. I feel like I'm like running out of time here. I don't care though, because I'm still going to do at least one leaf. This one will just be, as long as it's less than 60 minutes, I'm good. And I'm only at 43, so nice. Oh no, okay. Amelia says mine swallowed a thread when he was little. Big surgery. And I was extremely careful. He still got to it. I just went to make a coffee and came back into swallowed needles chat. Yep. My husband yells at me every time I do that. Good. He should. He should yell at you. It only takes a second, honestly, to swallow it down. And she had to have surgery to get it out. Like, honestly. Can do a lot of damage as well. So please, please, please be careful. And if you are one of those people who put the needle in their mouth, stop that right now. You've got your firm, what's that called? Hand, what's it called? You know? I'm gonna do it. Don't make me come over there. My biggest crime is dropping needles and trying not to let on that there's a lost needle I'm looking for. Oh my gosh, get a needle minder that has the magnet, yeah? Which they all have magnets. Or you can get my needle minder. It's going to be in the shop soon. Ooh. And take the magnet and put it on the floor all around. I used to stick them in the couch, in the arm of the couch. But I kept getting poked, so I had to stop doing that. Wrist slap. That's what I need. But if you got an advent calendar, don't buy a needle minder. I'm just saying. I'm always so extremely careful with needles and thread. Yeah, and you know what? When I lost my favorite needle on the float boat, I was just terrified that one of the dogs was going to step on it. I was like literally crying because I was like, oh my gosh, like what if one of them steps on it and then gets it like stuck in their paw or something, or like what if I was like so upset. I love that needle minder. Oh, thank you. Okay, that's pretty much it. If you want to outline the whole thing, you can. Let's zoom out like that. I've got 15 minutes. I feel like I forgot one here. Let's just do one of those. I think I forgot this little brown one in the middle, because I can't see it. Okay. It does look really cool on the back. I will show it again, but I will say, if you got an advent calendar, don't get a needle minder. This one's mine because the glue is sloppy on the back. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this dark green. I'm gonna stick with my plan. And let's try three strands. 4 might be the ticket though. I feel like 4 would be nice. A little bit chunky, you know? I just don't like those two colors next to each other. I'm gonna, oh, what do I do? What do I do? The only other one I have is this one. Or this one. I feel like that's a bit washed out, you know? Maybe I'll do an outline or something later. So that's always a good compromise if you have two colors that are right next to each other and you don't necessarily want them to blend together. You could always do an outline on one. I'm just separating the threads. I'm going to do 4 strands. And I haven't got any of the dark color left. So I've got a new piece. Can you mix colors together? Of course you can. Of course I could. Should we do that? Then it would look like a corn husk. Should we do like 3 of one and 1 of the other, so it's still a little bit dark but a little bit light? I think corn husks are quite light from my one experience of my mom growing them. Yes, you could. You can do whatever you feel like, honestly. Maybe just like the latest color. Where is that ball? Because there's some in here. Not that one. This one. This is the one. Yeah, they are quite light, but you can do whatever you want. Let's do 2 and 2 because I already have 2 here. Because I don't want to make it too thick, you know? Let's do 2 and 2. The lightest color and the darkest color mixed together. I also love to mix, but you know what? Sometimes I forget about mixing colors. Let's just see what it'll look like. And like, feel free. You can use whatever color you want to. You can use the dark golden color that we used for the background of the sunflower. Or you can use the lightest color if you want to. Just so you know, David and Jesse might be home soon. Because I said 40 minutes, but this is, per usual, turning out to be longer. Let's start down here so we don't have a tail at the end. So this is 2 strands of the lightest color green at the top here and 2 strands of the darkest color green. So I believe it's 213, and then this one is 683. 683. Gosh, I'm gonna have my work cut out for me writing all the color numbers on here. So yeah, we're just doing a easy peasy long satin stitch. So we're not angling in anything or anything like that. We're just going bam, bam, bam. Parallel lines, okay? Making them look nice and straight. This was such a good shout. Because it still gives like a stripey kind of effect, you know? Okay, let's do the other side. Yeah, it was raining this morning, so David and Jesse didn't go out. And the whole morning she was like, roar, roar, roar. Like, come on, he's home, so I get to go out. Doesn't that look so nice? I love it. Yeah, so just because I haven't showed it to you yet, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. Okay? Like, have a go. All right, so let's zoom out real quick. It's 51 minutes. Oh, gosh. That's the only bad part about doing it live on Instagram is that if it's over 60 minutes, you can't save it. So that means I can't put it on YouTube for anyone. Just going to make this a little bit more angled. Like that. Love it. Okay. And then let's zoom out. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Oops. How do I get my comments back? Okay, I've lost the comments. Oh. Oh. Guys, I don't know what I did. Okay. But anyways, here we go. Now I have the comment bar up and it won't go down. I don't know. Okay. But anyways, for the sake of time, this is what we've got. Okay. So if you would like to put a little outline around to just like outline that a little bit better there, then you totally can. Comment failed to be posted. Okay, good. I didn't want it to be posted. There we go. Oh, I got you back. Okay, good. It looks gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Yay. I can do it, guys. Don't worry about me. Okay, so this is what we've got for the corn. If you have a different idea or if you want to do something else, do it. Do it. I promise you, it'll look amazing. Just try. So I'll put all of the colors that I used, this one in the comments, and then this is going to go straight up on YouTube right after this, before we go. So before we leave to go shopping, to get more fabric for my kits. So yeah, tag me at the Brumby Fox, tag Anchor Crafting at Anchor Crafting, and use the hashtag the Brumby Fox SAL. Anchor Crafts, Anchor Crafting, Anchor Threads. I cannot wait to see how you do. I'm so excited. And I'm just going to say it again. It's a lot of stitching, okay? This whole thing, we do a lot each day. You don't have to finish on Friday, all right? So we've really just got details. We've got French knots. We've got the cornucopia, and we've got the grapes. And that's it. So we're almost finished. If you don't finish on Friday, then you don't finish, okay? It's all right. Like, we're not getting awards or anything like that. Like, it's supposed to be relaxing and exciting and fun. So if you find yourself like furiously stitching, set it down. Like, there's time. You don't have to finish on Friday. So enjoy your day. Looks like a really lovely Monday here. And I'll speak with you tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right. Bye.